The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Studio 6 Entertainment, Armed Media, or the Entertainment Partners LLC. Enjoy the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
So the attitude is not going to speed things up any bit at all. I'm going to ask you to speak into the mouthpiece very clearly.
It's Monday night, time for some Straight Talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley, coming at you for the next hour or so. We're going to be talking a bunch of different things. We're going to talk about the U.S. Open. Congratulations to Brooks Koepka. Wow. He really tore it up. I mean, I was impressed. I couldn't believe that, to run away with it like he did. I mean, to win by that 3 or whatever. But we're going to get into that here shortly. Also, we're going to get into, Joe Buck. We'll talk about that little DJ mishap and player accidentally ripping somebody's scorecard. We're going to get the U.S. Open prize breakdown. Talk a little bit about that too. But special thanks to our sponsors out there, eat24.com. Have you ate yet? Well, log on to eat24.com. Download that app for your favorite mobile device. Click, order, and eat. It's like a food truck in your pants. Really, it's just that easy. Also, hotsaucevault.com. Check out Louie at hotsaucevault.com. He's got hottest of the hot wimpy for the wimp. You name it. He's got gag gifts, everything. Also, strikehardgear.com. Check them out, strikehardgear.com. They got all kinds of accessories for your AK-style weapon. So, yeah. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Werner, thanks for the thumbs up. Daniel, Nate, and Abdulmohsen, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Thanks all for joining the show. We had, I was gone Friday, actually Thursday and Friday. We went out of town. I'll get into that a little bit too. We're going to talk about it, but fast road trip, a little 28-mile or 28-hour road trip. Steve Hutton, welcome to the show. So we're talking about a little bit of the U.S. Open. So the only thing, I'm not a big fan of link-style golf courses. The problem with, and I even talked to my dad about it. My dad, happy Father's Day for all your fathers out there. Sunday, didn't get to wish him. But I called my dad. We were talking about it on Father's Day. And we both come to the agreement. I called him after the U.S. Open was over. I wasn't going to bother him while he was watching it because, that's just too mean to get him while he's in the middle of he's watching the Open or whatever. But Oscar, welcome to the show. But we have him and I both come to the agreement that it didn't matter where you were at on the golf course. When you're watching the telecast, until they told you pretty much what hole you were on, you couldn't tell what hole you were on. They all look alike, with the fescue and everything they had. So a lot of the, around the greens, unless they told you what hole you were on, you didn't really know. That's the one thing I didn't like about it, is because a lot of the golf course was, it was hard to tell places where you're at. And then all of a sudden you'd be like, well, God, are they in the same group? I was rooting for Ricky Fowler, but, I have nothing against Brooks Koepka winning. Joe, welcome to the show. So, I thought it was great for, first-time winners, the last 7 are first-time U.S. Open winners. So, for their first major. We had, think about it, the prize money. I'm going to go through the prize money first, and we'll get into some of the other. I love that sound pop up there, but enough to deafen you. But U.S. Open 2017, Brooks Koepka won $2,160,000. Nice little chunk of change. Second place in a second place tie. Brian Harman had to make like about a 7-8 footer to keep tied for second. To make both Hideki Matsuyama and Brian Harman both took in $1,052,012. And well, it's weird. Actually, I take that back. Brian Harman took in $1,052,011.50. Why they shouldn't both be $1,052,011.75, and that would be even. But Hideki Matsuyama got 50 cents more. If I was Brian Harman, I'd be bitching. No. Fourth place, 11 under. Tommy Fleetwood won $563,642. Xander Souffle, fifth place, tied with Bill Haas and Ricky Fowler. Made a cool $420,000 and some change. All the way down to Charlie Hoffman, ninth place, made $336,000. Trey Mullinax, Brent Snedeker, and Justin Thomas rounded out the top 10. Well, they were tied for ninth, so 9th, 10th, and 11th. $279,000 for 9th, 10th, and 11th combined. So they're tied. So tied for ninth. So $279,000 combined. Wow. $2 million for first place. In 10th place, you're still making $279,000. That's nice. Last 7 majors. Jason Day. Oh, of course, Brooks Koepka. Jason Day. Danny Willett. DJ. Henrik Stenson. Walker. Sergio. And Koepka. So, I mean, just major names on that list. You look at with Mike and Andy, welcome to the show. You look at the U.S. Open, and you look at it, just the way, I don't know what it is. It's Fox, the way they do it. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. It's like the only thing that saved them was they had Brad Faxon. I'm not a big Curtis Strange fan, but he's fine. He's kind of the Simon Cowell of announcing. Kind of like the Johnny Miller that does NBC. He's a little bit harsh, but he wasn't bad. But the one Joe Buck should not be doing golf. Joe Buck has no business doing. Put him in baseball. He does fine in baseball. I wasn't real thrilled with him in the World Series, but I mean that's his forte, doing baseball, not calling golf. He got there on Sunday, and he kept calling Brooks Koepka's girlfriend by the wrong name. He says, Koepka walks off the green, gives a kiss to his girlfriend, and Joe Buck says his girlfriend, Becky Edwards, an All-American soccer player at Florida State. Whoops. Apparently, he says, he goes, Edwards was a 2-time NSCAA first-team All-American soccer player for the Seminoles, but she's no longer Koepka's girlfriend. And she wasn't the one who kissed him on Sunday. Thankfully, Buck's broadcasting partner Brad Faxon was more up to date on Koepka's love life and corrected the mistake moments later. Says Joe, that's actually his new girlfriend, Faxon said to Koepka, who is a 3-time All-American at Florida State, walked to the clubhouse. That's Jenna Sims. They were all staying together this week. Sims is an actress and former Miss Teen Georgia USA 2007 who's Wikipedia page was updated Sunday evening to also describe her as Koepka's new girlfriend. Yeah. On Monday, Buck joined the Dan Patrick Show and was immediately asked, "How's morale?" He said, "Morale's good," Buck replied. "Happy that a long week of golf is in the books, and obviously with your boy Brooks, now we all know he's dating." Or who he's dating, especially me. That's exciting. I wasn't up on that information. I got handed a card by a buddy who was phenomenal all week, and it had the old info on it. We got it right before we got off the air, but that's not the world we live in. These days, you have to do the apology tour before getting the week-old girlfriend wrong. So, sorry, world. Yeah. You know, the thing is when you sit there and you make a mistake, just say, "Oops, my bad," and said, and just live with it. But he's got to go and act bitter about it on the Dan Patrick Show. So I guarantee you, and he says, he acts like it's, his this week girlfriend. Well, I'm sure that pissed off Marlon. Welcome to the show. I'm sure that will piss off Brooks Koepka, and I guarantee you, the nails will be coming out on Brooks's girlfriend. So, never heard of him. Never heard of Joe Buck. Well, yeah, Joe Buck was did the World Series, and he's well, that was a little scary there, Rondon Shaher. Welcome to the show. But he did the World Series, and he did the U.S. Open. Does sports? I'm sure he does some. What about who's Joe Rocks? I don't know anybody named Joe Rocks. But you look at Joe Buck. I don't know. I think you got to stick to baseball. I don't know what it is. I don't think Fox, just the way they do the announcing, it seems like they haven't. I don't know if they haven't done golf that much. Just the way they interview people. They got a little bit better this year where they weren't interviewing standing to turn sideways. I don't think you need to do an interview when they're looking at each other this way. Usually interview towards the camera. Apparently the people like the golf course. I just thought I don't like link style golf courses. I like to see trees and they wanted it to be more open to where the wind caused them to have more playing conditions, that they... Oh, you mean Joe Rocks from JoeRocksLive.com? JoeRocksLive.com? You mean Night Talk with Joe Rocks? Oh, that Joe Rocks. I know him. He's famous. But you look at the way the golf course is set up, I don't think it was anything unfair. Those guys were able to shoot unbelievable rounds. I thought you're going to get one of those weekends where you get 1-2 under par, wins it, maybe even par. Sometimes the infamous. USGA sets it up so tough that these, that it's just so mean. If they wouldn't have got rain, I think you might have seen that. They dry out conditions. Brian Harmon, he, all the way up until like the back nine had a chance. Bobby, welcome to the show. And then all of a sudden you look at it, next thing you know, it's like Brooks Koepka gets it going. I mean, you see what he hit on 17? He hit a 3-wood, 379 yards. Longest drive of the day, and he hit a 3-wood. Well, sometimes a lot of people don't realize that your fairway woods, like your 3-wood, your 5-wood, and stuff like that, they don't have a COR rating. So the drivers have to be within a certain coefficient of restitution, so they call it. They can't have too much springiness off the face of a driver. Well, the 3-wood can be as hot as they want. And I've seen guys hit 3-woods so far. My brother, who's on right now, he hits a 3-wood forever. So it's amazing how far these guys get it. If you get it up and get it the right landing spot, and it just runs. But, I'm glad to see Brooks Koepka come through and win. I was looking for Ricky Fowler to win. Justin, welcome to the show. And I want to interview you on here sometime, so don't be shy. But let me make sure my phone lines are forwarded before I get yelled at. Cubs are not doing the greatest. I'm watching them out of the corner of my eye here, and they've had runners in scoring position the last 2 innings and just cannot seem to push it through. But they vowed, the USGA vowed to, tied it up 2-2 now, finally. They vowed to do is not have a repeat of the problems they had last year. Well, Dustin Johnson apparently involved in another ball moving snafu at the U.S. Open, but this time it wasn't his. It says Johnson, while heading to look for his ball in the fescue right at the 7th fairway, accidentally kicked the ball playing partner Jordan Spieth, whose drive had come to rest in the rough. Luckily, unlike last year, there was 0 consequences for parties involved. So it says, after consulting a rules official, Spieth under Rule 23C was allowed a free drop near the approximate location of where his ball was originally come to rest, and neither player was assessed a penalty. Now, if it had been his caddy, I don't know if he would have been penalized or not, but I think so. If Spieth caddy would have done it, because then he would have been considered part of his equipment. But now, Justin Thomas, he was scorecard from the 3rd round. The U.S. Open will forever be a part of golf history, even if it has a little wear and tear on it. Thomas torched Aaron Hills for a record-setting 63, tying Johnny Miller's famous score from Oakmont. Actually drove right by Oakmont. Was it Thursday night or something like that? And but Thomas and Randolph have no. Jonathan Randolph, who is keeping score, he actually had known each other since competing in junior event circuit. Randolph was impressed by his playing partner's special performance, but Randolph kept Thomas' score. And he tore the scorecard slightly at the start of the round without realizing that it would become part of history at the end of the day. He said, it didn't fit in my pocket, so I ripped the bottom part of some of it. So Randolph said, I told him I could redo it if they needed, but I felt pretty guilty. If that goes in like the Hall of Fame, it's all torn and jagged. They're going to be wondering, who in the world is Jonathan Randolph? Yeah. So you never think what would end up, but you got to keep it that way. That's the way it was done. He says, I don't blame anybody but myself for being a redneck and thinking this wouldn't fit. He said, so I just ripped it a little bit. Yeah, and that's what comes happen. But it was funny. Yeah, what's up, Uncle? Yeah, it's my long-lost nephew. Oh, I'm down for the interview. Just let me know. Yeah, I got to interview my nephew. But who over the weekend, and the guys, I'm talking to the guys, happened to see Holly Saunders. Hadn't seen her. She's former Golf Channel announcer. I mean, talk about dolled up for the U.S. Open. Holy schmoly. She is one attractive lady. I seen her at the PGA show the one year, and she was interviewing the CEO of TaylorMade, and my brother was standing right next to me, and I turned to him and I said, who the heck is that? Wow. And speaking of another attractive lady, Mary, welcome to the show. But, yeah, it was... I don't know. I'm not a real big fan of the way the Fox does the coverage, but hey, you know. Hi, Maddie. Happy Monday. Yes, it is. Living the dream. So, with all the U.S. Open in the books, everything done, glad to see it get by. We did a little pool at the golf course. And who wins? My dad doesn't know it yet, but he won. So, cool that he won. So, but, yeah, we had, I made a little trip, my son and I took him out to Valley Forge Military Academy in Pennsylvania. So it was about CBS does the best. Yeah. Vern Lundquist. And, I'll tell you what, I'm trying to think. He does ESPN a lot, but, he's probably the best multi-sport announcer there is. God, I'm trying to think of his name. But CBS does the Masters. And the Masters is just ultimate class. There's no, they just do it like they've done it for years and years and years, and they do it really professionally. So that's what I like about it. Mike Tirico, yes, exactly. Mike Tirico. I think he's the best multi-sport announcer there is. He does, he can do baseball, basketball, football, golf, you name it, and he's that good. Don, welcome to the show. And that's the thing about what's, CBS, and you get people like Mike Tirico and all that. They're able to come across and just knock it out of the park. They're the guys that you put them up there, and they can sit there and, I guess you want to talk about and BS, but they do a good job of it. Whiskey, Cars, and Cigars with Johnny Blender. One of my favorite shows. I'm still waiting for my cigar, but I don't know, it's going to be a little bubblegum action maybe. So I took a 28-hour road trip. Drove to Pennsylvania on Thursday night. Left out of here. We had huge storms here. Luckily, we were going east. We missed them. They were chasing us, but they never caught us. But Indiana, wow. Talk about construction. You're driving down the road doing 70 to 75. And, yeah, I'll take the whiskey, too. And all of a sudden, it goes from 70 to 45. And you're like, what the heck? And it's like, for 5 miles, it's 45 miles per hour. So, Lynn, welcome to the show. So we drive, we go through into Ohio, and we're stopping paying tolls, and they're just ridiculous, So we get to Christopher, welcome to the show. So we get through Cooking Corner with Val, one of my favorites, and some awesome recipes she makes. So, but and by the way, Joe, I can't use the marquee that Tony made. And I'll explain it to you later. Yes, Lynn, welcome. Yeah, that's right. So we drive out, and we're going out, and I don't know how long I drove. It was well past midnight. And we're driving along, and all of a sudden, I'm driving, and I do one of these, like, whoa, crap, nap jerks, and I almost sideswiped one of the concrete barriers. I said, all right, that's it. Whoop. Corey, you got to drive for a while. I said, I'm wiped. So, because we'd been up all day. We actually didn't leave until almost 7 o'clock at night. And it was just, it was a long day into the morning. And he started driving, and he took over because he'd slept a while. Well, we went through the tunnels in Pennsylvania. We come out, and we stopped at this rest stop. You about can't even walk when you get out of your vehicle and you go in. So I bought one of those. Hey, here's your old one then. Yeah. So I I bought one of those Easy Pass. What a smart idea. My God. I bought the Easy Pass. And it put it on your windshield, go right through the tolls. It takes it, it bills you right to your account rather than having to dole out money. So we did that, and it actually made me, the first toll was, or the last toll we had taken was $38. So it saved me $38 getting it. And so so we drove through and we got into, into Pennsylvania, and we went to the mall, and it was so cool. We get to the mall, and we're walking around and everything and checking everything out. Huge mall called King of Prussia Mall. And, welcome to the 21st century. Yeah, well, we don't have tolls out here, Joe. We pay for our roads in advance. Yeah. Saren, welcome to the show. Or is it Sharon? But it looks like Saren to me. But so, yeah, we pay for we don't have to keep paying for our roads. We paid for them from the get-go. But we like to pay for them once and not keep paying for them for the rest of your life. So we went to the mall. It was really cool. We're walking around. They had a Tesla dealership right in the mall. And we went and checked them out. George, welcome to the show. They had the new Tesla SUV in there, which was so cool because it had, and I don't know whoever designed it, but it was weird. It had regular doors in the front, but the back doors were going door, or gull-wing, as you want to call them. Did you pay Mary to be here? Mary comes to visit me because I'm nice to her. You're not very nice, that's why. So the back doors on the Tesla SUV are gull-wing, and they had them all open. I'll have to put a picture up on my Facebook page, but it was really cool. Larry, welcome to the show. So we went and checked that out, and then we went to his registration for Virginia Military Academy and checked it out, and really a cool campus. I mean, if you ever seen the movie Taps, that's where they filmed it. Old, huge, cool-looking buildings. And they were all setting up. It was weird. They had basketball hoops put up all over the place. They have Philadelphia 76ers have a basketball camp. 700 kids are going to be there next week. Or this week, actually. So it was pretty neat. And they also have a golf course right next to the academy. And I'd heard, yes, I'd already mentioned that, Joe. StrikeHardGear.com, StrikeHardGear.com. But rumor has it that it takes $150,000 just to join. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. We were going to go over and check it out, but there was a little bit too many cars. Almost all the cars in the parking lot were all. They had a Jag F-Type and some Porsches and Mercedes, high-end Mercedes, and they had a couple. What do you call them? Not the Maybach, but it's the Audi or the Mercedes MG, or whatever they call it. I can't even think. It's a real high-end one. But, yeah, it was a real cool-looking golf course right there. Bent grass fairways. So, I don't know if they can get any discount or play on it or whatever, but it'd be kind of cool. But they have... it's in a real cool-looking neighborhood, too. The streets are all winding through there and everything. Just a high-end, it's a affluent area. That's what it's like to say. But the Academy's been there for a long time. So, yeah, lots of people with more dollars than cents, that's for sure. So, but it was cool to check out. I got some pictures of that, too. And hope to go back there and check it out. He actually goes. He reports in July, and They process him there for like 4 days, and they fly from there to Fort Knox, and they go through his officer basic, and they go through that, and after it's like 5-6 weeks, he graduates from there. We're going to go out and watch his graduation, and then he flies back and he starts college. So I'm sure he's a little nervous. I'm sure. I mean, that's in the unknown. Not sure what's going on with it. You know, you're young, 18, but I think he'll do fine. Pretty cool. So yeah, I would like to. I'd like to go back out and check it out again. But we had Mark. Welcome to the show. I did want to talk about, and this is a lot of people don't know about this, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or not. Should be driving Chevy trucks or caddies. Yeah. Well, hey, I actually drove the truck out there. It rode. I set it at a speed, and it never came off that speed. I got a Chevy Silverado 2016. You put it on 72, it ran at 72. Up, down, hills, didn't matter. We're going through the mountains in Pennsylvania, and it never wavered. I mean, I was impressed. I got to give him credit. It was it runs smooth as ever. And you let go of the steering wheel, and that thing drove true as ever. Just like you barely have to touch the wheel because it wasn't pulling or doing anything at all. So yeah, it's a smooth running truck. We actually were doing about 70, 75 down the highway and got passed by a Dodge Viper. And that thing had to be doing 100 to 120 miles an hour. It went by us so fast. And all you could hear was whoa when it went by. I was like, wow. I was expecting to see a lot of really high-end cars when we got around Chicago, but really I didn't see really anything too much. Maybe a few, Mercedes, big Mercedes. Seen a few Jags and stuff like that, but never got. That was probably the highest end I saw was the Dodge Viper. See a few Corvettes. Virginia, welcome to the show. But I wanted to talk about Otto Warmbier. And if you don't know who Otto Warmbier is, he was released from North Korea after being detained over there for nearly a year and a half. Well, the sad part about it is he died Monday afternoon, his parents announced. He'd been medically evacuated and returned to Cincinnati last week in a coma. He was a college kid who was stupid, tried to steal a banner, and they put him for hard labor. They called him a terrorist or whatever. They said his awful, torturous treatment our son received at the hands of North Koreans ensured that no other outcome was possible beyond what we experienced today. His parents, Fred and Cindy Warmbier, said in a written statement. Warmbier's death was mourned by both his wide circle of friends and by complete strangers, and it's intensified political reaction to his detention, with outraged critics calling it murder. President Trump issued a statement Monday afternoon. Melania and I offer our deepest condolences to the family of Otto Warmbier on his untimely passing. So there's nothing more tragic for a parent to lose the child in the prime of his life. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Otto's family and friends who all loved him. You think about that, Chris, welcome to the show. You think about, he stole a poster. It might have been stupid for him to do. But do you think he should have been, treated the way he was? So, this is, They had sentenced him to 15 years of hard labor. So I don't know whatever going to come out of that, but I really don't think they're going to say much about it. They had a van ran over Muslims worshiping in London. I don't care who. I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care who you are. I don't think it's right for somebody to run somebody over with a van. I don't care what religion you preach to or you pray to. I think this guy was I think it's a terrorist attack. Said the 47-year-old white man who was grabbed at the scene by locals and pinned down until police arrived. After being seized, he said he wanted to kill as many Muslim people, one witness told journalists. The thing I have a problem with is when this individual comes out and you hear they want to do is they're freaking out about the alt-right, about all we need to do is do this, we need to do that. Joe, welcome to the show. And when it happens on the other side, all we need to do is pray and hug and get by this, and you know it's always the opposite. So I don't think him being right at all. No, it's completely wrong. I don't think anybody has the right to do that to anybody. But treat them the same. So, you know, and then we had, the congressional shooter here, who, this is that come out from the Chicago Tribune. It said that, there's an article went out, that James Hodgkinson, his foster daughter, come out and said that he was an abusive alcoholic. Said teenager Kathy Rainbolt told a judge that her foster father hit her in the face when she failed to mow the lawn correctly. What's wrong? I mean, can you believe that? She got hit in the face when she got hit and dragged by the hair when she tried to get away. Her foster father, who's now infamous after shooting U.S. House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, told police officers and a staffer on a Virginia ball field Wednesday. Rainbolt told the judge that Hodgkinson's drank every day. Says, I didn't mark a time when Hodgkins started hitting me, Rainbolt told St. Clair County Circuit Judge Radcliffe during a hearing on November 21st, 2006. It's hard to live with an alcoholic, and now he's treated me, Rainbolt said. So you look at this. The transcripts of the hearing were unsealed along with the rest of Rainbolt's juvenile file. After a request by the Bellevue News Democrat was granted by a circuit judge, Rainbolt died in 2015 of a drug overdose after a life mixed with human suffering and laughter. So it says, you know, imagine that. This girl, she committed suicide because of her abuse by her stepfather. I don't know how you could ever I don't care if it's your stepkid or not. I don't care if you're a real kid. To sit there and hit them and punch them because they didn't mow the yard correctly. Night Talk with Joe Rocks. Wow. Isn't it on Thursday nights, not Monday nights? Sad to think that they people treat kids like this. And I'm sure it happens all the time, which is the sad part of it. There was an article came out about cell phones and kids right now in Colorado. Let me see if I can find the... I know I had it here somewhere. But I'm trying to find my article here. It says Colorado group wants to ban sales of cell phones for kids under 13. I personally don't have any problem with that. I don't see a kid buying a cell phone at under 13. Ron, welcome to the show. Said there's a grassroots effort to stop the sale of smartphones for use by children younger than 13 years of age. Parents Against Underage Smartphones is collecting signatures to get Initiative 29 on the 2018 ballot. It said Colorado's have cleared the language of the proposed ballot measure. Associated Press reported supporters need about 300,000 signatures. Initiative 29 prohibits retailers from selling or permitting the sale of a smartphone to a person under the age of 13 or to any person who indicates the smartphone will be wholly or partially owned by a person under age 13, the proposal states. Well, I don't know how they can enforce that because it says retailers who sell a smartphone for use by a preteen would get a warning for the first offense but could be fined up to $500 to $20,000 for subsequent violations. See, I think that's a little overkill. If a parent wants to give their kid a smartphone in age 10, I don't think the government needs to step in and say, no, you can't sell them that because these kids are so far advanced. My son's 12, and he can run everything on that phone better than my wife can. They know how to handle the iPad, the laptop, anything electronic. They grew up with it. I think they ought to do it. I don't think they need to make a law. So we have my house. I don't let my son or my daughter, they couldn't get a cell phone until they're 13. My son turns 13 this November. I haven't decided whether I'm going to get him a phone or not because the reason why is they're never anywhere where they need a cell phone to call anybody. So why should I get a phone for them at age 12 or 11 or 10? Because they're not, to sit at home, they're not calling their friends. Most of their friends don't have cell phones. I don't think they need one. So it's one of those deals where at age 13, they're a teenager. They're starting to make friends outside, and they're starting to go to functions where they need to call for rides. Scott, welcome to the show. At 12, I don't think so. But I see kids at 9, 10 years old with cell phones. Do I think that they should have them? No. But do I think I should make it a law that they can't have them? No. Because who knows? That kid might be more active where he goes to different functions where he needs one to call for rides. I'd much rather have the kid have a cell phone and be able to call and locate where they're at than to go places and not have one and need one. So, but to sit there and make it a law, I don't think that makes much sense. You have having a law set up for it, and then going to fine. Charlie, welcome to the show. To fine the cell phone companies for selling it to somebody, I just think that's overkill. And plus the fact is, how can a cell phone company, let's say I bought 4 cell phones. Yeah, I'm watching that Cubs 3-2, top of the 8th, man on second, 2 outs. I'm watching, Ron. So I'm just like kind of doing one of those where you're just like, no, watching this going. They make you sit there. It's like riding a roller coaster. So, but, to sit there, I bought 4 phones. I bought one for my daughter, one for my wife, one for my oldest boy, and one for me. And this is not, it's been 2 years, it'll be in December. So I bought 4 phones. And who do they say who's going to be using it? They don't know. I don't tell them, well, my, 18-year-old son's going to be using this one, and my daughter's going to be using this one. No, I don't sit there and tell them that. I just bought 4 phones. It's none of their business who uses the phone. I don't think it makes any sense to sit there and say, well, all right, well, I'm going to let my 7-year-old kid use this one. No, they don't need to know that. It's not that. It's a little bit different than a car. A car where I got it insured. Who's going to be the primary driver? Well, you have to tell them because they want to know who's going to be driving which vehicle. But I'm, 3 outs. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs are leading 3-2. So hopefully they can keep it going. Maybe score an insurance run here. But, I forgot to talk about, before we gone out of sports there, we were talking about cell phones and stuff like that. But there was a story out about cell phone outages across the United States. And they're talking about, I don't know if you've noticed you're having problems with your cell phone. Well, this come out of Tucson, Arizona. It was a CBS News article. If you're having a problem making calls or connecting to your internet on your cell phone, you're not alone. My son had trouble with on our trip. My phone kept recycling when we were on our trip. CBS Tucson affiliate KOLD TV reports several major cell phone providers, including Verizon, Sprint, and AT&T and T-Mobile, were having service issues on Monday. Yeah, so Dick, welcome to the show. Said the website downdetector.com, which compiles user reports of outages, posted maps highlighting a different number, different areas with problems. So you can go on there and you check on. They had a Verizon down area, T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T. Said Spectrum customers were also having difficulty Monday. CBS affiliate WNCN TV in North Carolina reports officials from the company said a backbone fiber line was cut in the city of Wilmington, and more than a dozen crews worked to repair the line. So, one of those, oops, yeah. But, yeah, we had, on our trip, it seemed like it kept cycling my phone. I'd be going along, and all of a sudden, it would, like, reboot. And we were doing the maps through the turn by turn. Luckily, it was never when we really, really needed it. So, but I did want to talk quickly. Matt, can you help? Oh yeah, right now? Yeah, sure. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, I'll just have it. Randy Jackson, is that who it is? Or is it Macho Man Randy Savage? Big Swole. When's his show? I did want to talk about, and maybe this would be an article or a topic that Big Swole would talk about. Colin Kaepernick made a tweet. Said he posted a likening police officers to the runaway slave patrol, along with the declaration that the system needs to be dismantled. His post seemed to be in response to the acquittal Friday of the Minnesota officer who fatally shot Philandro Castillo during a traffic stop last year. It said this isn't the first time Colin Kaepernick has taken his shot at law enforcement. Aside from a highly publicized protest while kneeling for the national anthem, Kaepernick specifically drew ire from the national police organizations for the stunt of wearing pig socks. So, and there was quite a few people that came out on Twitter against his tweets. One of them said, "What happens if something happens at your house? Who do you call?" Well, apparently, he's not going to want to call the police. But, no, it's just, oh, not now. After. Oh, thanks, Joe. Oh, what? Can I wait till after? But, no, I did want to, there was an article, and here's kind of a funny story here. Well, I wouldn't say it's funny because it wouldn't be funny to the person that was involved in it. But there was a individual that was ordering at Starbucks. I seen Starbucks, I don't know how many times this weekend. I didn't stop there, but they had a dispute over a wrong drink at Starbucks. Ends in a wrestling match and a stabbing. So I'm like, think of that. A trip to Starbucks ends violently on Sunday after two customers got in an argument over a wrong drink, and one of them got cut with a knife. You remember that? You know, going there and going, "It's mine!" You know. I wanted like cafe latte with the creamer. I don't know what the hell they call them. I don't know. I don't drink them, so. But it said the man got in a dispute because he got the wrong drink and another customer tried to intervene. I said two men began wrestling. Man reached into his phone to grab his cell phone, but grabbed a pocket knife instead. Ronald, welcome to the show. He was wrestling with the man from California. The knife opened. Yeah, I don't think it just went whoop. Oh, and it opened by accident, and I started stabbing him. I don't know what it was. So he said, police said neither man wanted to pursue criminal charges. No, he just stabbed me over a cafe latte. I'm not going to press any charges. Don't worry. No, apparently they must have known each other. Or, I mean, I'm sorry. A guy stabs me. I'm sorry. I'm pressing charges. So, you're popular. Thanks, Joe. But, you know, you think, I'm not big into the Starbucks, so, but, you know, Joe, you might get a kick out of this story. There was a Happy Father's Day by a certain kid whose dad does not recognize him as being his father. Danny Williams wished his father, Bill Clinton, Happy Father's Day. He also is trying to get him, Gene, welcome to the show, to take a paternity test. He took to Twitter on Sunday to wish his dad Happy Father's Day, even though you abandoned me and only took care of Chelsea. That's what he says. So, I'm like, whether it'll get any airtime, probably not. Because if it's, they don't believe it's true. Yo, yo, yo! Here's a lady that was from Florida. Evangelist. Welcome to the show. Florida woman allegedly stole more than $93,000 in city funds. And what did she buy with it? A Brazilian butt lift. A woman who worked for and like say, who worked for, not is working for, the city of Gainesville, Florida, allegedly stole more than $93,000 in city funds to pay for a Brazilian butt lift, as well as other purchases. Well, of course. So the report also found that Clark, a former city specialist, used her credit card issued by the city 136 times for $61,000 in unauthorized charges. Charged her supervisor's credit card 36 times for $31,000 and charged $500 to a coworker's card that she used 5 times. Like they're not going to find this out? You know, really? You think that, oh, I don't know, somebody must have stolen my card. Oh, how did my butt get so big? No, I don't know. Just happened. They're going to do is be able to figure out Clark, whose yearly salary was $33,500, also spent thousands of dollars on her cable bill, television, and food purchase. She allegedly itemized her PayPal transaction using terms such as decor, holiday banners, and storage bins. So, well, she gets to go to the fancy storage bin, the one with bars where you stand there and they go, ooh, you know. Scott, welcome to the show. On a scale of you to 10, was she hot? No. She should have got a Brazilian facelift instead, and forget using the money on her butt, because no, she was not hot. Let's see here, another story here. Customs officers find 27 pounds of cocaine in a wheelchair cushion concealed. $486,000 worth of cocaine. John F. Kennedy International Airport said they found 27 pounds of cocaine stashed in a passenger's wheelchair. And all of a sudden, I can walk. It's amazing. And I can run, too. You know, he probably got up and took off running. It's amazing. I can run now. I'm healed. You know, watch me run. You know. There's another article here I saw. Man on synthetic street drug tried to bite officers after they repeatedly tasered him. You know, so yeah. Says a Kentucky man allegedly overdosed on synthetic drug and tried to bite officers after they repeatedly tasered him. Yeah. Every time they zapped him, he started growling. No, I don't know. So, you just be like, keep zapping him, see how many. All right. Yep. But I want to leave with this one. You know, you get psychics and they're all trying to read, you know, you read your fortune and everything. And, oh, you're going to have mysterious, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they go read your palm reading and all this stuff. Well, apparently, this lady who is a self-proclaimed psychic wasn't very good at it. Because, you know, you think if you're a psychic, you would foresee the car running into the building and hitting you. That crashed through the wall into the restaurant while she was dining. But apparently she wasn't that good of a psychic. Maybe she was in training or something. But she was sitting there eating in a restaurant and a car drove right through the building and hit her. So maybe she was letting her psychic abilities on break. Cosby, when they acquitted or not acquitted, they had a mistrial. So I don't know. That means they're going to have to go through all of it again to try him again. There was an alternate juror who spoke out, who I guess they sit along and they wait to go slap him about. You're in. Well, apparently an alternate juror in Cosby's assault case Monday said he probably would have voted to convict and was ridiculously sick when he found out the main jury couldn't reach a verdict. I don't know how you can't. So, he won't live long enough, but that doesn't mean he should get off for what he did do. They have last story of the night. California workers charged with stealing $300,000 worth of avocados. Where do you think you're going to go with them? Oh, let me see. Hey, guys, want to buy some avocados on Craigslist? Really? You think about that. That's so much. 3 minutes, Joe. Well, I could go over, but yeah. My time limit shows right on an hour and 32 seconds. But no, $300,000 of avocados. It's not like they're going to notice they're missing. What happened to that big truck of avocados? I don't know where it went. And then you got an avocado for sale sign out in your yard. Yeah. Well, that's why the criminals are stupid. They don't pay attention. I did want to say, Illinois, at the end of June, might not be able to sell lottery tickets. So, my video connection has been paused. They're probably streaming all kinds of crazy stuff upstairs. But, no. So, Illinois at the end of the month might not be able to sell lottery tickets. They're going to pull the Powerball. Elizabeth, welcome to the show. We're just about ready to end there, Elizabeth, but thanks for stopping by. At the end of the month, Illinois is pulling their Powerball and Mega Millions game. Imagine winning a lottery and winning it in Illinois, and they can't pay you because they're broke. That would piss me off. I would be livid. Yeah. So, well, hey, thanks to everybody tuning in. Glad to be back. Was nice. I wouldn't call it a vacation because it was 4 days of driving, 28 hours of driving. But I was happy to do it. Some serious bonding time with my son. Firecracker. Boom, 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 boom. You ain't kidding. Yeah, they're going off here. They've been going off every night. My son goes, "Is that gunfire? Is that what?" Well, it's been a lot of gunfire lately in this area. So, Tony, you missed another live show. You only showed up late. Better late than never, though. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys on Wednesday night. I'm at a new time on Wednesday night. I'm an hour later. That's okay. You can walk your dog. You just got to listen to the replay. But Wednesday night, I'll be an hour later. I'll be on at 10 p.m. Central, 11 Eastern. I got a new show coming in, Big Swow with Randy. So check it out. Also Thursday night Talk with Joe Rocks. And I'll be back on Friday night at 9 p.m. my normal time, 10 Eastern, with more Straight Talk. So Wednesday night, remember, I'll be an hour later. So everybody have a great night. Great rest of your day. We'll see you on Wednesday. Be safe. Some talk time with Val tomorrow night. And some rocking with Amy Shafalo. Yep, rock talk. And I'm not sure what day Tony was on. It keeps changing. So WTF Pop with Tony. We detected Tony Street. So, all right. You got Whiskey Cards and Cigars. And you got Scary Talk with Lynn. Yeah. She freaky. So, all right. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday. Be safe. And we'll see you when we see you. If you see something, say something.